Gas prices are on the rise, how the president and Oklahomans are reacting. Plus, we sit down with Our Blood Institute here on campus. Why the need is so great, and how Norman is using AI in schools. This is OU Nightly.
The price of oil and gas is on the rise as the war in Iran rages on. Thank you for joining us tonight on OU Nightly. I'm Kevin Daniel.
And I'm Lyndon Potter. The price for a barrel of oil has been all over the place today, as high as $110 and as low as $87. Trump responding to the high prices on social media, saying the high prices are temporary. He says short-term oil prices, which will drop rapidly when the destruction of the Iran nuclear threat is over, is a very small price to pay for the USA, the world, safety, and peace.
Right now, OU Nightly reporter Kason Blaylock is live at a gas station here in Oklahoma with the latest on how people are reacting to the high prices. Kason, what do people tell you?
I'm here outside of 7-Eleven on Chocotah Ave. As the oil prices rise, drivers here are already watching the prices at the pump as they go up. Oil prices reach highs for the first time since 2022. Gas prices are seeing those changes too. Average gas prices in Oklahoma are at $2.97 for regular gas, when just a month ago it was $2.32. This is raising concerns with residents because even a small increase can quickly add up.
It was almost getting down to like $1, now it's almost to $3. It changed how much I go to OKC now. Now I don't go to OKC as often. I'm trying to limit that to like once or twice a week.
Even though prices are on the rise in Oklahoma, it's still lower than most places in the U.S. The national average price for gas is almost $3.50. Reporting from Norman, Oklahoma, I'm Kason Blaylock, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Kason. Well, Kevin, the weather from the weekend to now, it's been all over the place.
Absolutely. It has. OU Nightly meteorologist Isaac Walters is tracking some severe weather. Isaac, what can you tell us?
Yes, that's right, fellas. We're tracking a severe weather risk right now across most of this little portion of the country here. We're down there to the south, up to the east. We see an enhanced risk there down south in Texas, up there towards Chicago even with an enhanced risk. Here in Oklahoma, we're really staying mostly at a slight risk. That threat right now we're looking at is mostly going to be hail and wind, tornado threat, and flood threats on the lower side. But that hail and wind is going to be a threat. We're also going to be talking about some abundant warmth coming into the area, as well as some rain chances that might give some relief from the drought we've been seeing.
Thanks, Isaac. This week, Our Blood Institute is on campus taking donations. Lyndon, you thinking about stopping by at all?
I actually was, but OU Nightly's Sutton Parker was there not too long ago, and he got the full experience. Sutton, what do you have for us?
Hey guys, I am currently here at the ROTC Armory, where all week long students are able to donate blood, and I'm joined now by Reagan Baskin, who is part of donor recruitment for the OKC mobile operation to donate blood. So hey, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
So first, go ahead and walk us through the process of how students can donate blood here this week.
So all they have to do, they can either make an appointment using the QR code that we have on posters and signs all over campus, or they can just walk in and be a walk-in appointment. That's totally fine too. And they just sign in, have the student ID or ID card with their name and their face on it, and then they can just try to donate with our screening process and go through all of that. So all the blood that we take here on any of our OBI blood drives go directly to the hospitals in Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas. Normally the Oklahoma collections stay in Oklahoma, so you are helping your local hospitals. We collect about 1,200 units a day.
Right, and so I've heard it's been a little slow today. What is y'all's goal for the week at the end of Friday? What's the goal that y'all would like to have?
Roughly 300 people need to donate. Being with that, 20 to 30% will get deferred because they're iron or their hemoglobin, or if they were internationally traveling or anything like that. There's a million reasons you can get deferred. So successful donations about $275.
And how many have y'all had today, do you know?
I want to say we've had 65 people sign in. I think we've had about a 50% deferral rate though.
Okay, nice.
So pretty high.
All right, well, if you are interested in donating blood, you can show up from, I believe it's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Right here at the ROTC Armory. And reporting from the ROTC Armory, I'm Sutton Parker, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Sutton. The Our Blood Institute is encouraging students to make appointments online, but say walk-ins are always welcome.
The boom in artificial intelligence has organizations of all kinds, scrambling to figure out how it can help them. Norman Public Schools is already trying some new things with AI. OU Nightly's Carly Beach is live to show us what they're doing. Carly.
I'm here at Norman North, where AI is the newest advancement in technology. I spoke with students and faculty on how this advancement in AI is being incorporated in the classrooms. It's the unofficial tutor that never sleeps. At Norman Public Schools, artificial intelligence is changing how students study and how teachers plan.
Sometimes I will use it if I'm like stuck on a math problem. I'll have to pull it up and see how it's done, just to try to get to know things, like if my teacher's not available, or I just, late night cramming stuff in, trying to understand stuff.
For junior Brody Nickmeyer, tools like Google Lens were a lifeline for complex math. But recently, those digital doors have started to close.
I would just take a photo on Google and Google would explain it for me. And it's but now that it's blocked, it's just wait till I get home and use my phone.
That block is part of a broader effort to keep the classroom human. Librarian Molly Detman says while the tech is everywhere, the brain power is what's at stake.
You have your own thoughts and feelings. Stop putting it in the robot to pop it back out. You're saving a minuscule of time and not building any actual knowledge.
But it isn't just students. Teachers are using tools like Magic School to save time.
It can save teachers up to 30 hours in that planning and some of those other tasks, so that way they can have time to really be with students, making those connections with students in class.
As the district works on a formal policy for next year, the message to students is simple. The tool is only as good as the person using it.
Just try a little bit. It does not hurt anything to try. You're already in school. You're already sitting here. Just do it.
As artificial intelligence advancement continues to grow, teachers are using its benefits to prevent technological harm. Reporting from Norman North, I'm Carly Beach, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Carly. The district is expected to create a new AI policy for the 2026-27 school year.
And coming up next on OU Nightly, a new leader of Iran has been named. Find out who after this.
And a teacher in Georgia is dead after a prank gone wrong. More on OU Nightly. Iran has named their new prime minister. Abigail Nickel has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
A new supreme leader in Iran has been named. Mojtaba Khamenei is the son of the previous supreme leader killed at the beginning of the conflict in Iran by the U.S. And the military says the 7th U.S. soldier killed in conflict is 26-year-old Army Sergeant Benjamin Pennington, fatally wounded at the beginning of the war during a strike on a U.S. airbase in Saudi Arabia. Anthropic is suing the Trump administration, alleging the Pentagon illegally labeled it a supply chain risk. The conflict comes after the AI giant tried to impose restrictions on how the government uses its tool. Anthropic doesn't want it involved with mass surveillance of U.S. citizens or anonymous weapons. Popular weight loss drug company Hims & Hers stock spiked to nearly 50% after the company announced they were dropping a lawsuit. This lawsuit included Wegovy and Ozempic, saying they were selling copycat versions of the same drug. As part of the deal, Hims & Hers will sell Wegovy and Ozempic at their self-pay prices, and customers will pay from $149 to $500 per month, depending on the drug and dosage. And News 9 reports that Governor Kevin Stitt has narrowed down 5 candidates to replace Markwayne Mullin in the U.S. Senate. Kevin, Lyndon.
Thanks, Abigail. And in other national news, a Georgia teenager is facing a homicide charge after running over and killing a high school teacher. 4 18-year-olds TP'd trees outside the teacher, Jason Hughes' home. Officers say Hughes was ran over after being tripped and fell into the road as the teenagers were driving off. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. The teenagers were arrested and charged with criminal trespassing and littering on private property.
The U.S. unemployment rate increases due to a large decrease in jobs last month. Megan Howarth has that and more in today's Money Matters.
The unemployment rate rises with the U.S. losing 92,000 jobs last month. A new report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows a small dip in January's job numbers and an increase in unemployment. Analysts are saying this is a surprise after expecting an increase in the tens of thousands. On Wednesday, a New York federal trade court judge ordered the Trump administration begin paying back tariff money to importers. Over $130 billion worth of tariffs was collected. The Supreme Court deemed these tariffs illegal 2 weeks ago, and more than 2,000 lawsuits were filed. Experts say it will take time for the refund process to begin. And 24 states are suing the Trump administration to block a 10% global tariff. This comes after a ruling last month by the Supreme Court deeming the president's previous attempt to impose tariffs illegal. This lawsuit is led by New York, Arizona, California, and Oregon, asking the U.S. Court of International Trade to declare the tariffs illegal and prevent them from being applied. And Uber launches a women-only option nationwide, allowing women users to request women drivers. Lyndon, Kevin.
Thanks, Megan. You may be walking down the South Oval and see chalk at your feet.
We spoke with one organization to find out the deeper meaning when we return.
And stay with us. We'll be talking about that severe storm risk coming up. Thank you for joining us on this warm and I would say hot Monday. We've seen temperatures here 86 degrees here in Norman. A very, very warm time outside and throughout the entire metro and across the entire state. We're going to be seeing here, though, a severe weather risk into tomorrow. So that's going to be something we're going to be watching very, very closely. Make sure you're watching OU Nightly at 4:30 tomorrow, because as this thing gets closer, we'll get even more details on the current threats for that. We're looking to be more of a wind and hail threat. Tornado threat we'll see here is much, much lower. That's a 5% across that, and that green is a 5% chance of a tornado in any given spot within 25 miles of a given spot. And then down there towards Ardmore, we see it get up to around 10%. But here across the metro, we're seeing tornado threats very, very minimal in terms of the overall threat, but something worth watching closely. Now, let's look here at when this timeline is when this is going to come in. We're going to see this come in overnight tomorrow. So we see right there at 11 p.m. when those storms start to fire off and go here across the metro. That's going to move out to the east. And then we'll see also on Wednesday morning, as you're making your commute to work or to class Wednesday morning, a good chance of some scattered showers mixed in with those clouds Wednesday morning. After that moves out, though, we're really not going to see any more rain the rest of this week. And that's going to be playing into our fire danger. Right now, we currently have red flag warnings out to the west. So here in the metro, we're not really seeing much of that, but there's still plenty of conditions in place for a quick fire to start. And we're not going to see really any more rain for the next 6 to 10 days. It's going to be really below average. As you see out to the west, below average here. Below average out to the east, a little more above average. But here, we're staying pretty dry after this little round of rain goes through tomorrow. Right now, though, look at this. Elk City, 90 degrees. We hit 90. We actually got up to 92 there towards Elk City, 93 further southwest, and really temperatures across the entire state. Plenty warm. And actually see here, we actually were very, very close to that record high back in 1911 of 89 here in Oklahoma City. 86 is the current high, though, for the day in OKC. The next 6 to 10 days, a lot of the same in that front as well. We're going to see temperatures stay well above average, below average out up north. Here, we're going to stay above average. And that allergy outlook right now, if you're feeling sniffly, this is why. Those tree allergies are starting to come back. Spring is springing here. Spring has sprung, I should say. And we're looking at those tree allergies being plenty high. Tonight, if you're going out, it's going to be in those 60s, but really the next several days, we're going to be seeing temperatures in those 60s, 70s, kind of dancing around really, but staying mostly comfortable outside. But with watching that closely, though, is that severe weather outlook tomorrow with that severe weather chance. We've seen a really hot start to our spring storm season. Up north in Michigan, we saw a tornado with a very, very small risk, so it's something worth watching closely.
Absolutely. You talked again about that severe weather risk for tomorrow. I know a lot of it, a bit of that was about hail and winds. How should people be preparing for those? I know hail, that's roofs, cars, things like that. Of course, yes. You're going to move your cars to shelter to make sure you're watching that very, very closely. Dents can happen very, very quickly when hail moves in. Awesome. Thank you, Isaac. Coming up after the break, hear from the newest football coach at OU and what his journey was like to get him here when we return.
Hi, I'm Jamin Dawson, and it's time for sports. March Madness is on the horizon, but the first media availability for OU football is the talk of the town. Oklahoma football hosted some of the top recruits in the 2027 class on Saturday's Junior Day, where Brent Venables' staff gained 5 commitments, including 4-star tight end Seneca Driver. Coach Jason Witten spoke to the media for the first time as OU's tight ends coach and believes all his experiences will help his tight ends hone in on their talents.
Because I was able to play so long, and then as I've shared, kind of making that family decision to go coach high school, but got a lot of confidence in my ability to be able to teach it and help these players get better and become the best version of themselves. And so every step of the way, I feel like I try to watch, even when I'm here, Just, I think the best way to learn leadership and to improve is to watch it. And I think Coach Venables has been a great example of that.
The Red River men's basketball game in Austin had high stakes for both teams Saturday. Up 4 late in the second half, Mo McGee sets a pick and perfectly rolls, catching the lob for a reverse dunk. OU's 5-point lead was cut to 3, and a costly foul from beyond the arc put Jordan Pope in prime position to take the Sooners to OT. 1 minute left in overtime, Nigel Pack lined up for 3, but leave it up to McGee for the big putback. A clutch defensive play would keep the Longhorns at bay, and this 3 from Darian Reed would seal the deal. OU wins 88-85. Porter Moses' miraculous turnaround has his team positioned to sneak into the NCAA tournament. ESPN's Joe Lunardi has OU slated as the 8th team out, and on the other hand, 10th-ranked OU women's basketball is a lock for the tourney, projected to host the first-round regional as a 4-seed in Norman. OU women's center Reagan Beers was named to the final ballot for the John Wooden Award. Beers is the only active Division I player with 2,000 career points and 1,200 career rebounds. Beers is the first candidate for this award from OU since finalist Courtney Paris, 4-time finalist from 2006 to 2009. Oklahoma baseball completed their weekend sweep Sunday afternoon against Santa Clara. Alec Blair at bat here notched the RBI and a double play. The bats were hot Saturday and Sunday with OU scoring 8 runs in both games. Skip Johnson's team only gets 1 day off until they're back on the diamond Tuesday against UT Arlington. Patty Gasso and the girls were hitting on all cylinders over the weekend, sweeping the competition in the Okana Invitational. In their 2 games against Louisiana, they outscored the Raging Cajuns 12-1 and run-ruled Abilene Christian in both games. Sophomore third baseman Nellie McEnroe Marinas suffered a torn ACL in their game last Sunday against Southeastern Louisiana. In her 19-game season, the first-team SEC recipient started 16 of those contests, hitting 3 home runs and 16 RBIs. Kevin, Lyndon.
Thanks, Jamin. Campus is about to look a lot different for the rest of the spring.
We'll have the annual tradition that is making its seasonal return to OU.
I'm Alyssa Campbell at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Oklahoma Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell announces he will not run for governor. Pinnell posted on X and Facebook saying him and his wife, Lisa, are ready for a new chapter outside of politics. Pinnell has served as Governor Tevin Stitt's lieutenant since 2018 and is not interested for running for governor after Stitt will finish his final term later this year. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Alyssa. Now, Isaac, again, back onto that severe weather. Could you tell us a little bit more about, who that's going to impact and maybe what impact the warm weather we're having right now might have on that?
Of course, yeah. So we're really seeing more of a threat to most of the entire state of Oklahoma with that hail and wind. But further down south, we're seeing more of where that severe threat is going to be for as far as tornadoes go. That's going to be staying mostly to our south. Here in Norman, we're really going to be looking more at that hail and that wind on Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, especially there around midnight on Tuesday. That really, again, that biggest threat I want to hammer home is going to be on that hail and on that wind. The flood and tornado threat is going to be very, very low. As far as rain goes, I really don't expect to get much. It's going to be kind of moving very quickly through, not much really hanging around quickly. And we're going to see that move on out and east. And when that happens, that's going to really move out for the rain for the rest of the week. Now, as far as our weather call here, I highly recommend you guys scan this. So you'll get 24/7 updates from us, only $12 per year. So scan that for 24/7 updates. And that next 7 days is really looking warm and dry after we get through this round of potential severe weather tomorrow. So I know this warm weather is really kind of bringing forth that spring. Really good time to be planting some plants, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. If you take a look outside, you'll see OU Facilities Management planting the annual mums on the South Oval.
Yeah, guys, it's a 70-year tradition that sees anywhere from 15 to 22,000 mums planted across campus. Months of planting go on to have these specific designs with the flowers, and it takes months to make sure that they'll be in full bloom for homecoming. Guys, you guys talk about meteorological spring. I don't think it's OU spring until the mums are back.
I was going to say, the mums are really, it's like, it lets you know, like, hey, we're back in spring, especially, I mean, today it's been, 86 today?
Beautiful today.
It's plenty warm, plenty nice outside, and those mums, it might be time to start planting those plants outside. So I love it personally, the warmth. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. When I was saying, I'm excited to see what kind of design they bring with those mums. It's always something special every year. Celebrate the history of the state, celebrate the history of the school and stuff like that. But no, those warm temperatures, I love it. I mean, I'm a summer guy. Just I love it. Keep getting back up. But thank you so much for watching OU Nightly. I'm Kevin Daniel.
And I'm Lyndon Potter. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Have a great night, everyone.